Well, welcome to Gas Under Pressure. It has been, what, 2 months since the last video? Maybe a little bit longer, I don't know. And you might say, well, where have you been? Well, I've been actually in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I had a business trip that sent me up there, so that's where I've been. And it's a different part of the country, so different places to go pick. And one of the first things I do whenever I get sent off someplace is I go attack Craigslist and whatnot, and that's kind of how I came across this, which is sitting here in front of you at the moment. And contrary to the usual story of dropping something on the desk and launching into it, this one is a little bit heavy, so it's just kind of on the desk, and we'll launch into it from there. This one came out of Breckenridge, Colorado. It has a bit of interesting history to it in that this originally was in Northern California. A fellow that was in Colorado bought some property out there. Apparently it was a father and son that were kind of, I don't know if hermit's really the right word, but they lived alone out there in the woods and had a bunch of stuff they had collected over the years. So when he bought the property, he cleared it out, and this was one of the things that was in there. And this is something he really liked and wanted to be able to restore, but never really found the time to do it. So I saw it, contacted him. We struck up a great relationship, and I made arrangements to come up there and pick it up until I found out that it was going to involve about a 5-hour drive from flying into Denver and then going to Breckenridge and then driving up to Cheyenne. And so I was like, wow, that is more than I bargained for. So I said, how much trouble would it be for you to ship it? So man, he did a great job. I told him just take it to the UPS point, tell him pack it for me and ship it. And he says, no, he says, I'll take care of this and try to get you the best deal possible. And he did, and boy, do I appreciate it, because as you'll find out later in the story, doing that's really expensive. So anyway, he came through really well, and I have this fantastic Coleman AeroGas stove, and let's just kind of fly you around here a little bit. Got 2 burners, and we've got a preheat burner, which is a R55, and believe it or not, it still works. You probably can't hear it, but there's ever so slightly a hiss. I was able to get this to pump up. I'm kind of checking it to see if the tank is holding pressure. So far it's looking good, but this if it had fuel would actually fire off right now. All the knobs work. That's the preheat knob. This is the main fuel flow knob, and then of course this here is the burner knob. Hold on as I turn this down. This is the burner knob, and I believe it's got some stuff and junk in the generator that probably got rattled loose through the shipping. So this will have to be pulled out and redone and taken care of. So that's that. Glass is broken out of this, but the gauge works. The gauge works. So if I move this, let's see if I can get the fuel gauge does work. The pressure gauge does work, as you can watch as I open this, because it is holding pressure. The pressure gauge does go down, which is awesome. So it's like this is in some, looks like a little rough shape, but everything here seems to be in good shot and in good shape. That's it. So here's the AeroGas logo, which you can see, pretty cool. This is frozen up. I got to work on that, but the idea here will be that, let me just set y'all back down here, is that this is going to be a complete and total redo, because right now it's not going to get any better. There's not any patina on here really worth preserving, because it's just kind of in a state of disrepair. And really what I would like to do is get this all cleaned up, repainted, and back in service, and who knows, maybe we'll just sit on the back porch as an additional stove back there. But I think this thing will clean up really, really nice. So stay tuned for that. And incidentally, that's kind of what this is. This is the stay tuned video here, because in the time that I've been away, there's been some acquisitions, right? So let's see. So I picked up this most recently, which is a single burner AGM and with a brass fount. It works pretty good. It's got some issues within the fuel air system, so we haven't gone through any AGMs before, so this will be a great opportunity for us to take a look to see how AGMs work. The vent on this is in really nice shape. You can see here there's very little chipping on it, so that's in great shape. I happened to get another AGM, which is this one's pretty unique. This actually has the original mica globe on it with a lighting door. It's a little bent out of shape, but that's nothing that can't be fixed. Beautiful cobalt blue porcelain globe on here, and this is one that has the carburetor valve in it that that is totally different than anything else we've worked on. So this will be yet another interesting little piece to work on. I then got this sad thing here. This was $5, and I got it just because it's weird. This is the really weird thermos that people were like, oh yeah, that'll blow up on you in short order. But here's the weird thing about it. Mantl's up here, generator's down here. So this is just a weird bird, and for $5 I was like, why not? And honestly, the rust that's on here is pretty much surface rust, so this will probably be a good candidate for a repaint and some time in the electrolysis bath or something like that. So we'll do that. What else? Oh yeah, so there's even more. I picked up a couple of these. And these are MSR Whisper Lights. This is a Whisper Light International, or International, because it's got the little E on the end. So this is a really cool backpacking stove that I picked up in Laramie. And this just unfolds like this. And I actually use this stove in my hotel room because the stove there in the room was so terrible. The International is very cool in the fact that it will burn white gas or kerosene, which is characterized by this larger burner. We'll do light ups on these later, and of course more in-depth stuff on all this stuff later. This is the pump for it, and of course there's an external fuel bottle for it, which just is here. And what's really nice about this is that I was able to take this on the plane no problem, because if you just use white gas, once white gas evaporates, it leaves absolutely zero odor, zero trace. And so I took all of this stuff on the plane just as recently as about a week ago, and I had no problems with TSA or anything like that. So a note, if you're looking to go camping with a liquid fuel stove, if you do something like this, it is really easy to get all of the fuel out. This stove portion will not smell at all, and if worse comes to worse and they confiscate your fuel bottle, you're only out $20 and you can get a fuel bottle in the next city. So that is that. Now you're like, well, is that everything? I'm like, well, actually no, because remember how I was talking about the expensive things, shipping stuff through UPS? Well, I shipped this through UPS. Whoops. So this is a Preway 3-burner stove. We'll give you a little peek. I don't know how much you'll be able to see with the camera angle where it is, but this one isn't actually really good shape. It only has a few little minor things that need to be attended to. One of which being that UPS kind of gave it a frame adjustment as a result of shipping it, so I'll need to do a little bit of tapping with a soft mallet to bring that back into spec. But this is very cool in that it has 3 burners. It has a lever system for controlling those burners instead of knobs, and it's got a giant fuel tank on it. So this is a really cool and interesting one, and I found this one for $30, and it's in such nice shape, at least until UPS adjusted it. Thanks for that. So that is all the stuff. So it's been a few months off, and you haven't seen much from me. I have been trying to answer questions and talk to folks as they may leave comments on the video. So you know, keep commenting. The channel is obviously not dead. There's going to be more of this. I'm going to be returning back to my every other Monday type publishing schedule, and we'll get all these other videos coming up there. But for right now, at least you kind of know what's in store. The restore of this should be very, very interesting, because this will be a complete teardown and repaint. And yeah, it should be pretty good. I mean, again, like I said, it looks kind of rough, but the majority of all that stuff here is surface rust. So there'll be, you know, it won't be perfect when we're done, but it'll be good when we're done, right? So it's one of those things where it's like it'd be good from afar, but far from good. I mean, some things we're never going to fix. I mean, when you take a look at the grates, these are missing here, right? They've been cracked out. You know, some of these other ones have been cracked out around here. So those grates are going to be permanently like that unless I miraculously try to find another one. And someone has actually tried welding these in the corners, which is impressive considering these are cast iron grates. Anyway, so that is really pretty much the whole content of this video. I'm trying to think if I've bought something else over the time, and I don't have it here to show. I probably have, but we'll be seeing more and more of this as we move into, unfortunately, the summer months, where it is starting to get warm and humid and nasty here again, and that is just part of being in Texas. But at any rate, there you go. That is it. Until next time, keep them lit.